Chris, this horse, he's a really interesting horse. He's come full circle. I think he might have been trained by Peter Tonkin early in his career and gone to New South Wales and come back, and really nice win tonight.
Yeah, he ran well. Clayton and Emma, as I said before the race, were happy with his work and that he'd run well. Didn't think we'd have to, drive like that, but the speed was pretty slow early, and he was nice and relaxed and just sat there well and had that good kick up the straight.
It was probably not a suitable race the way it worked out, but you did sum it up well. And 40 Thieves is going really well, so good measuring stick in front, and he had every opportunity. So, he can go on and win a few more races now.
Yeah, you would think so. Like, that was a good win, and probably can't do that now. He's up to M1 class, but with the right run, he'll still be in the money.
Chris sees the initiative mid-race, saw that the horse in front shared interest, I guess, a hand-up horse in general, and decided to push on with the effort.
Yeah, they weren't going real fast, so we were a fair way back and just took their chance. I thought the leader may hand up, but wasn't 100% sure. But once he got to the front, he really was strong and just had to dash up the straight.
He's an interesting horse. You're not his regular plight, I wouldn't say, but you've definitely had a good association with him. I know you've won a race previously. Have you driven him too often?
I think that's twice.
So 2 wins. So hopefully he can keep the steer, and he feels obviously like a nice enough trotter in the making.
Yeah, well, he'd been out of the draw for a long time, and tonight I think was his first run back in, and he seemed to handle it pretty well. And he's always been a nice horse. I think he may have won the Sire Stakes or run second in it, so he's always had ability.
We are joined by Greg Sugars with Dansborough. He's a little bit flighty after a big win, Greg. I suppose you had to sit park, but to some degree you were controlling the speed outside the leader.
Yeah, that's right. Once Chris was happy to hold the front, we decided to sit there and basically control the tempo, as you say, and just turn it into a sprint up the concluding stages. And thankfully we were too quick.
Won't hold you for too long, but he's a horse with a pretty promising future.
Yeah, that's right. Like, he's always shown good speed, like we touched on before the race, but this time in he seems to have strengthened up a fair bit. So hopefully, that combination of those two things will take him a fair way.
Thanks, Dan. We are joined by Greg Sugars after another win. Greg, tell us a little bit about the way the race panned out, I suppose, for your chances. Chris not finding the front immediately helped, and then they just ran even fractions through those middle sections.
Yeah, that's right. We showed last start we had to go sit outside of Chris after he got the front pretty comfortably at Cranbourne, and weren't beaten all that far. So that was probably the difference in the race tonight. He had to work a little bit to get there, and we were able to have a nice cheap run out the back and hit the line good.
Terrific for Bo Tyndale. I know he's trained this horse for a while. A change of stables when it was claimed back, and good to see him doing a really good job with the horse.
Yeah, that's right. No, he seems to get the best out of this one. There's no doubt about that, and there's no doubt since turn of the new season that he's now training in partnership, and AJ's got her name first. He's certainly going better again, and full marks too to Phil Cohen. He gave him the instructions. He was pretty taken by a handy mare that ran at Fleming today by the name of Winks, and he said, just drive this one the same way.
We are down here with Karen Manning. Karen, look, he had his own time in front. He got to control the race. He probably looked vulnerable at the top of the straight and even the last 20 or 30 metres, but he did stick his neck out late when Winkinitova came to him.
He did, yeah. That's sort of the sort of horse he is. He's very laid back, and he really does what he has to. Like at home, track work isn't anything to write home about, but when he goes to races, he picks it up a bit. And I thought it had me, but being Meteor, it got nearly level, and he, like I said, he kept sticking his head out.
How sort of forward was he? He's obviously got a big campaign ahead. First up here, plenty of improvement still to come.
It should be. He'll take a fair bit of fitness out of that because, like I said, he's a bit casual at home, and the more he races, the better he gets. So, pleased with the run and good to get a score on the board.
You do have a very strong hand in Cinnamon numbers-wise. The mares, of course, he's there. Is that the ultimate aim with him, is preparation?
I think so. I guess the next couple of months will tell us more whether he's ready. But look, he's a nice class horse. He's probably a bit below the better ones, but the series would probably suit him because he's tough and can sort of run speed. And if he has sort of a nice runs in those sort of fields, he won't be that far away.
Do you have a race or a plan for him to get him into the race? Is there a country cup or a feature race between now and then that you've sort of eyed off?
Look, there's a few country cups coming up, and they sort of suit him. A bit of distance, I think, would sort of suit him down the ground. We're tossing up whether he'd get a run next week. He may not, but we might throw him in and see what the noms are like. If he snuck into the field, that'd be good. But he's the sort of horse who should keep improving, and we'll just take what comes. And if he's going good enough into time, we'll head for that.
John, I'm not sure when you thought were a chance here, but it was a spectacular victory.
Yeah, thanks. Actually, the trainer's got to take all the credit. I said tonight we come to the races and I said Hexted's going great, but he's probably got no hope. And then I was speaking to Steve and he said this filly has got a really rough chance. She's been going terrific. So I actually tipped it at my family, so I hope they all had something on.
That's outstanding. And through the race, there were a few different moves through the middle stages, so they kept the pressure on and you were just able to launch.
Yeah, it certainly helped. I was a little bit worried. Steve did say if she slots in and she's handy, she'll run a really good race, and Nick gets a bit of luck, and none of that happened early, and I was just sitting there thinking, well, nothing's taken off. We're going to have to do it on our own, and she just sprouted wings.
Steve did just say to me post-race, the only horse that does it like that is Gumdrop, so she's got a lot to live up to be that good, but terrific effort.
Yeah, well, I won on Gumdrops a few years ago, so she was a lovely filly too, but this little filly's done a good job tonight, so she might go a bit further too.
We are with Kima. I think you're still fighting for the Metropolitan Premiership, Kima, but that one will help. Look, he had to do some work early, and the Queenslander never really left you alone in front, but he just continued to lift in the straight.
Yeah, he did. I was actually, he had to. This was the first time we really, pushed him out of the gate, and the way he relaxed after that and then just held him off, he's amazing, and Ake's just done a really good job with him. And for Dominic to putting me on him, it's just I can't explain it.
Halfway up the straight, there were obviously good horses left, right, and centre. Out of your hair, the stablemate was sort of launching as well. Did you have any concerns? I think potentially Shadow Sax nearly got to him, but that last 20 metres, I think he found a bit. He
did for sure. Like I was honestly, thinking about it halfway up the straight. I thought, he might get run down here, but he just fought on the whole way, and the plug never came off either. So, he'll have a bit left for next week.
Perfect lead-up run, obviously, for Victoria Cup. I think the way the Inter-Dominion rankings have fallen, he's probably a certainty to get a run now, and he's a certainty to get a run now, and I guess exciting to go into that race as sort of a precursor to an Inter-Dominion.
Yeah, for sure. I was talking to Dominic today, and to be up there with the best first time out of his age group and to come out and do it like this is just amazing.
This mare, she's in terrific form, and it was a step up for her, but she was pulling through the middle stages, and she did it her own way, but she still gave a massive kick.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was a massive, step up in distance and class, and I did have to use her a bit out of the gate and then go back and retake. But like you said, she's racing really well at the moment, and she just had enough on the line.
So it's an interesting time of year. Obviously, breeding is an option. I think she's been to the breeding barn before. She's come back and started racing again. Does she have another 6-12 months left in her, or will she be off to the breeding barn soon?
I think that they're going to try and breed from her this season, but she's going to keep racing now for a little bit, and then they're just going to have to see, because they tried for 2 years, I'm pretty sure, and she couldn't get in foal, which is a shame because she's a gorgeous mare, good to do anything with, and I think they're going to try again.
Rocket, Sky Petite wanted to go on with a job. I suppose in the small field you let her go in the end, and you got the nice run in behind.
Yeah, it did. Sky Petite's been a nice horse for a long time, and she was a good horse to follow, and just turned out well and truly in our favour tonight.
You've sat behind some nice horses for Anton recently, and in the past as well, but I don't know, have you had a feel like that before, the way she put lengths on them at the top of the straight? That was pretty special.
Yeah, it was. The way she felt tonight, it's probably as quick as the paces I've driven too. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting.
It's obviously, it is exciting to pick up a driver like her. I know she's not nominated for the Inter-Dominion. Potentially, late nomination is probably still an option given how well she won tonight. But if not, she's going to win some big races going forward in the next 12 months.
Yeah, I think so. It just shows, I think they've got a fair opinion of her, and everything stays well with her. I'm sure she'll be around next year to go around it. She'll be bigger and stronger then. So I'm sure there's still plenty of races for this season. And as I said, Anton and Pat, they'll work it out, and I'll just turn up and hopefully do the job for them.
Wouldn't mind driving her into the Dominion if she was a late nomination, though?
Wow, absolutely not. I definitely wouldn't say no.
Chris, still learning, still lightly raced, drifted up the track a bit, but pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's a nice horse, and he just gets a little bit lost when he gets out in front by himself. But he's got really good speed, and when we can sit him up like we did in Ballarat, he can really rip home.
I suppose there's still a long way to go, but where do you sort of put the ceiling on him? Is he a good metro horse? Is he a free-for-all, or is he something more?
Oh, it's sort of hard to tell, but what he's done so far, he's done all pretty easily, and he ran a 57-mile rate for the middle trip at Cranbourne, which they don't do very often. So he's got the ability there, and it'll get harder as he goes along, but I'm sure he'll keep learning.
Vincent shoots clear now. Is this a star on the rise? Vincent brains them. Vincent by 15. How big was that, Vincent? That was outstanding.
Heaven Rock Titan better. It's an all-stars show in the Auckland Cup.